Football Podcast. We'd like to welcome y'all back in, man. Once again, today is June 11th, 2020. This is your boy Richard Williams, man, and we got the DSF Down South Football Boys back in the building. First up, though, got to introduce. I'm gonna go in a different order today. We got our boy C Tuck. C Tuck, introduce yourself and your handles, sir.
What up, is your boy C Tuck? You can follow me on Twitter at Chauncey Tuck. Also on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also follow the Highway 22 East podcast with Coosa Boys right there on there. You know, just follow on that same handle on Twitter and on Instagram. Also, Dave, you want to introduce me on the other one on the Mayo and Tuck Twitter and on Instagram also and Facebook. Thank you. And God bless.
And God bless. This week I did going on. Hey, Dave, go and introduce yourself, sir.
Dave Gardner, man. I'm on Facebook at David Gardner. Also, DL Gardner 205 on Facebook on Twitter. Unfortunately, that's the only two handles I have. So you know, that's it.
And it's your boy, man. I am DJ Double Dose, man. You can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at I am DJ Double Dose.
And I forgot to get my beginnings at Renard D. Williams on Twitter. So what's up, fellas? We've been out for a little bit. We've had a couple of live shows, but we're going to do this a little bit different today. We coming to you. This is going to be on our YouTube channel and also on our regular Anchor podcast. I hope y'all tune in and subscribe to both of them. So we got a couple of topics we want to come with y'all today with. Just a little bit, just a little short show. Let y'all know, hey, we still here. We still breathing. A lot going on in college football. But before we get into this, I think the hottest topic outside of the race relations in America right now, we're going to try to stick kind of football today, has to be what's going on in Clemson, South Carolina.
Dabo, good old boy Sweeney.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sweeney has had an interesting week this week.
Couple weeks.
So what I think we should do.
There you go.
Let's I'm gonna start at the 2-minute mark of this thing. I'm gonna let this roll for a second. So let's just listen in and see what Dabo got to say. Let me just make sure y'all can hear this.
Look, no, I don't think I've ever seen Dabo with glasses on. But he tried to get.
Hey, that's how you gotta do. You gotta want a little intellectual.
All right, let's see if we can get this going.
Mm-mm. No volume, no.
Oh, there's no volume?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's stop it. Hold on, let's stop for a second. Okay, let's stop it. But let's just wait on that. We won't do that then. I don't know what's going on with the volume. I can hear, but I guess y'all can't hear.
Probably not.
So let's just say this. He basically said there's two words that he don't deal with. One is the N-word and one is GD. To me, those are very interesting words for the fact that he can't. Those are the two words that he can't deal with. But the incident, y'all understand, is with the tight ends coach, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. What the name was? Danny Pearman.
And one of the players missed a block or something, and he said, "I missed the effing block N-word." And then I guess the coach thought he was talking to him, and he repeated what he said and said the N-word at the end of it. So the first thing I had to do was go look at it and say, okay, is the coach black? Then I saw this guy, white guy. I said, oh, well, he repeated it. And Dabo's explanation to me sounds like someone who just trying to make sure his program stays clean. Yeah. And I don't know how y'all feel about it, but let's go around the room. Let's start with David. David, how do you feel about this situation that happened with Dabo?
On my way, like I mentioned to you in the pre-show, I listened to the recording only on the way home,
right?
Because I really wanted to I didn't want to have time to really think about it. I wanted to listen to it and just kind of spew off of that. Then I turned around and started listening to some stuff on ESPN, on recording as well.
Right.
But I think it's two things that stands out to me. Number one, you say he's tried to justify how in which it was used. It wasn't used at a person. It was just a word said.
Right.
That's number one. Number
Right.
two, the other problem I have is that who is he to tell us how to talk within our community? You know what I mean? That's a word, whether it's, depending on how you look at it. I mean, but all of us use it, but we use
Right.
it in our community. That's a term that we use, whether some people may look at it right or wrong, but who is Dabo Swinney to say, hey, you can't say that? You can't tell me what I can't say if I'm using it within mine, because it's in everyday life. It's in the music we listen to. It's just a part of our culture. No, you can't say that. But I mean, I think it just goes. It goes so, to be a person in power and be so empowered, and this is where people get racism, all messed up and confused, is that they're in positions of power to dictate rules to us. So I can't use a word in my culture around my peers because and I think that's what really bothered me about it.
I would say this, and I'm gonna let Ben and Tuck chime in. I think he said, he don't want that word used in the locker room or anywhere like that. But my thing would be like, why can't it just be reduction of all profanity and all things that's offensive to all races? Like, why does it have to be just the N-word? But he knows why it's just N-word, because 90% of his locker room are African American. So it's like, I'm conflicted with the whole situation. But when you look at it, I'm just not on board with the way it was handled at all. So, Ben, what's your thoughts, sir?
My biggest issue with it is the fact that, I know we didn't get to play it, but when he says in the apology about, you don't want it used and all this stuff, but the man that used the term still on staff, and this happened years ago. So it's like, only one person came out and spoke about this incident, but I just in my heart, I just refuse to believe that this was the only time that this happened. You know what I'm saying? When this guy is still on staff all these years later after he said it. And the only reason why we're even hearing about it is because a player finally came forward and mentioned it. So I'm like, did you even say anything to the dude, Dabo? Did you? Clearly you didn't do anything because he's still there. Let
Dabo say in that video that it was talked to the player, it was talked to the coach,
and that was why.
And it was handled. Now I'm just quoting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it was handled within the team. But my point is, if it was handled within the team, why does the guy have so many issues? And make it so bad? Y'all know who the player is, right?
Yeah.
And y'all know that his father is on the strength and conditioning staff, right? So it's like, he tried to explain it anyway. BLT was like, they all like family to me. The Green Moms like family to me. I'm like, if he like family to you, then why does this player feel so crazy years later?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. This is where the part where you get to white explaining. White people try to, explain their way. Like I said on my Facebook post a couple of days ago, if I know somebody that says, well, I'm not racist because I have a whole bunch of black friends, that's racist.
You can go hang it up with me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had somebody else tell me, how can somebody be racist when you hire black people? Just because you hire black people, that doesn't mean anything. Okay. So going back to what Dabo did. This hit Dabo out of left field, and he didn't know how to handle it. His PR people didn't know how to handle it. He tried to hit it. He tried to handle it himself, and it backfired. When he said, like you said, my family, we're all like family around here. No, you're not around like family like it, because y'all can't say that word. If you know you can't say that word, why are you saying it? And why do you if you have a coach, saying it? Saying it.
That was not the only time.
It's not the only time, because
it was not the only time.
Look, if he felt so comfortable saying it's in his vernacular, and he up here saying it, just like it it flowed off his lips like that, he has said it way many more times.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the boat of, Dabo, you handled this correctly. No. He came out with the statement way too late. He didn't. He tried. To me personally, I think he tried to deny it at first. Like, oh, that didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Then all of a sudden, oh, you just finally remember what happened.
Well, remember another player said something too. I forgot the other guy's name.
I forgot the other player he said,
but he said something too, and then that was like when Dabo kind of was like, okay,
right.
well, I guess I need to.
I mean, these players are not going to lie, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
When he said something, but Dabo said something about the music that was playing.
Right. Yeah. I was like, so now you gonna blame our culture now because your coach said?
Right.
I'm like, that's not how this works, man. So Dabo can just go ahead, whatever apology. We all know that Clemson's not going to do nothing to Dabo. They're not going to defend him. They're not going to fire him. They're not going to do anything. So this is what we're talking about as far as race relations here in this country. All we want people to do is just listen and learn from their mistakes. To me, Dabo is not learning from nothing. Dabo is just going from the heels of whatever, and he just going to figure out like, okay, I think I'm okay. I'm all right. I ain't gonna worry about it. No,
he's being told.
We had a conversation.
He told them.
We need to listen. Yeah, people need to listen to what we're trying to tell you instead of just trying to jump down our throats. Like, oh, here we go. Y'all want to talk about it? Because we don't talk about it because y'all feel uncomfortable.
And then, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, and then I'm sure Renard may be finna go here with it too. And then to add fire to the fuel with everything that he got going on, your man goes out and wears the damn Football Matters shirt.
So
if ever what we're saying about him being tone deaf was true, all what you was going through with this, you let this happen, and then boom, here comes the photo out with you with the Football Matters shirt on over, and everybody confirmed that it was a recent photo, even though you said you had the shirt for an extended amount of time, but the photo still was recent.
He said he's worn that shirt several times. There's an older shirt. That's what he was saying. But it's almost like you look at it, and you say, you look at that shirt and say, well, damn, should I really wear this shirt today?
Right, like after what I just went through with my assistant coach, am I really just gonna put this on today?
You know good and well that what's going on with these Confederate flags and stuff. Do you think you still gonna have some of these people wear Confederate flag shirts now? They're gonna think about it right before they wear it.
Right.
Especially if they're going in these different public places where there's going to be African Americans, possibly African Americans there, they're going to think about it twice before they wear that shirt.
Right.
Well, you know what, Tuck? I'm sorry, no, I ain't mean.
Go ahead. You good. No, you good.
Just a quick thought, Tuck. You made the comment of they'll say, hey, I got black friends, or I hired black people. I kind of think about another comment that gets made is, I don't see color.
Oh, that's
well. Here's the thing.
That's all in the same category.
We need you to see color.
Yeah. We need you to see it.
See me.
I need you to see it.
I need you to see me as a black man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I need you to see, because I want you to respect me as that.
Exactly.
Because if you saying I don't see color, then you ain't really respecting me who I am.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we can leave it right there. Yeah.
I mean, that to me is it's almost like you couldn't come up with a worse time for this to come out. Where we got cities and people burning across the country, tear gas, race relations at a high as it's ever been in a long, long time. It's like, I don't know. Now, like you said, Ben, I don't expect anything to come of it. I feel like it's gonna be swept on the rug one way or the other, because it's kind of like a he said, she said. The only way they can make it go forward is if the player continues to address it and say nothing. And also, you got to understand, you got like a 3% of these players saying this, but you got 97% of the other black players that are coming to him, that is going to come to his defense about what's happening. So that was Clemson. We're gonna keep a little short on that. We're gonna move on to the next issue, next topic of the week. One of the big topics is the fact that Reggie Bush is off his 10-year. It's off his 10-year penalty.
Fight on.
One of the most electric football players.
And
Yeah.
to watch Reggie Bush highlights, dog,
Just
ain't no fast forward.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
It never gets old either. Never gets old.
Like anybody from our era, around our era, I don't know where he sits with y'all, but as far as people that I can truly say, with the whole Bo Jackson thing and Dion and all of those players, we know about them. You know, we seen the highlights. We know about them, but we all four of us watched Reggie Bush in action live, and that stuff we were watching is just like.
And we didn't just watch it; we lived it.
We lived it.
I fall asleep most times when Pac-12 play. I try to stay up.
Right.
Because I used to like watching State, but I stayed up when Reggie Bush was playing.
Because you never knew which play.
And then
you won. You just never knew.
And then what's near and dear to all our hearts. We all played, college football. So it was like on top of that. You would plug in NCAA and you would play with him because you just like, man, give me USC, dog.
USC was banned in our group. It wasn't no banned with no you. We were like, no, bro. Like how people did with the Warriors from a couple years ago. No, you can't get the Warriors, dog. No, USC, Kevin. But what I can pull up, what I want y'all to see is just so we can go back and really remember what happened. Right. It's a little quick Cliff Note version. That's what Bleacher Report called it, of actually what they were what they was actually accused of. Not really accused of, but what some of the allegations that were said that people try to like lump together. For a Cliff Note version, said USC did not pay Reggie Bush to play football. USC did not give Bush family a home in exchange for their son playing football for the Trojans. USC did not buy Reggie Bush a car or give him money to purchase a car. No USC booster or patron ever gave Bush or his family any money or any financial benefits. Lloyd Lake, the person who provided a home for the Bushes and a used car for Reggie Bush, was not a booster or even a fan of USC. Lloyd Lake was an ex-convict who had delusions of becoming a sports agent. When he left prison, he realized that a friend of his, Reggie Bush's stepfather, Lamar Griffin, had a stepson, Reggie Bush, who was gaining fame playing college football. Lake provided Griffin a home as well as other benefits in return for his stepson, Reggie Bush, signing with Lake's sports agency when he decided to play in the NFL. Now, let me remove this and go back to us for a second. So those are just some of the allegations that, like I say, allegations. Those were some of the things that were the misconceptions, and a lot of people say that with the NLI name, image, and likeness that was getting ready to pass, that you wouldn't even hear about any of this. And the fact they took that man Heisman Trophy that he willingly turned in, and the fact that he couldn't even have contact with USC for 10 years. Like, how y'all feel about that today? We know how it happened 10 years ago, but
yeah. Well, let me tell you. To me, I'm not saying it's like the SMU death penalty back in the day, but let me tell you, if Reggie Bush was walking those halls right now when recruiting was going on,
oh my God,
that's huge for you.
Look, that program never would have failed the way it failed if he had still been able to do that.
Matt Leinart walking that hall, I don't care about that dude. Reggie Bush, how you doing?
Yes.
If I was whoever the AD is, I can't remember his name now at USC. If I was him, get Reggie in everything possible because you're gonna need him and then whoever the new coach after Hilton is to get that.
Hey, Hilton got 9 losses. So he gonna win 9 games and win the South. He gonna buy him another season, man. That boy got 9 lives, man.
Whoever that duo is, you gotta get them together, form up a plan to get USC back. Because there's way in California, it's way too much time. There's no way that Bryce Young, that's his name,
should have ever got out of California.
Never left California. Never should have left California.
When Tua wanted to go to USC.
Yeah, Tua wanted to go to USC.
But to add to that point, we're talking about Reggie Bush. Look how many California kids are now in some of these other programs, like LSU's, the Alabama, the Clemson. Yeah. Now, look, they would have had a hard time. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have got them all.
But they would have got some.
The 5-star quarterback that's at Clemson right now, I ain't even going to try to say the last name, that DJ do. I mean, you can go down the line, like, it's like, why? Because they were talking about it this past recruiting cycle. Why is there such an exodus from California? Like, none of these kids are even staying in state. You got your Najee Harris. You can go down the line. Now, some of these kids may still have left, but the fact that you could have had somebody else that might have had a Reggie Bush-like impact, a lot of names just escape me right now.
Exactly. Especially Najee Harris. Yeah, that's right.
And we got one Whitby. Whitby was one of the only 5-star that Willie T signed. Whitby was from California. He never. I guarantee if USC was what they needed to be and Bush was there, Whitby never would. He never would have came to Tallahassee.
And then I'm looking at it too, because it says they kind of dig in a little deeper. I mean, you're talking about 10 years. So now Reggie comes back. Yeah, he can have an impact, but the question is, will his impact be today what it would have been 10 years ago?
If what I mean? Okay, it depends on the parent. If the parent was watching,
correct,
was like us,
correct. But 10 years ago, guess what? It would have been the kid,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It would have been the kid 10 years ago. So it's not an SMU type of deal, but it definitely
affected a lot.
Affected a lot. I mean, if you bring Reggie Bush in the room the year after he won the Heisman, coach, where I signed up at.
Well, especially if I'm a running back, I'm like, hey.
Because when Tuberville brought Bo Jackson back, and Bo Jackson started coming around the program a whole lot more, Auburn had, at one point in time, Cadillac, Ronnie Brown, Brandon Jacobs, and Trey Smith, all in the same backfield at the same time.
Yeah, that was a picture that somebody that I was talking about earlier this week that somebody posted to my timeline. But you talk back on Reggie Bush, like, think about that for a minute, man. He was Mr. Electric. And, you know, people try to dog him by his NFL career.
Who cares?
He had some electric times.
Exactly.
He didn't have a bad Heck no, he did.
And guess what? He got a Super Bowl ring too. So to go with them national championships and that Heisman, he got a damn Super Bowl ring to go with it too.
So what's the overrated part about Reggie Bush that we want?
No, not us. I mean,
but just in general.
But you know, a lot of people try to say, "Oh, he did this in college, but he can't do this in NFL." You know how people get stupid about certain subjects. You know,
let him get in your secondary and let me know what you think.
And look, and look, as a football player, he completed the trifecta. You know, he won state championships in high school.
Yep.
He won a national championship and a Heisman in college.
Yep.
Then he went in the NFL and he won the Super Bowl. When he sit back and look at his career, bruh, I got a Super Bowl, national title, Heisman, high school championship. Nigga, I won at every level. I'm good money.
So, you know, I pub Justin a little bit on this show, so I'm going to tell you this. But so Justin had a Reggie Bush story. A Reggie Bush incident happened to him. He met Reggie. Reggie Bush ran right into Justin. Justin tried to tackle him, but he got hit on the side and knocked him down. But he thought Reggie Bush was tackled. By the time Justin got up, Reggie Bush is headed down the sideline. So Justin was like, "Oh man, he ain't gonna do that to me no more." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Okay, I got him this time." The next time, Reggie does a spin move in the hole, takes off. So Justin is doing the drill that you do when you're chasing down the player or whatever. Mm-hmm. Justin's claim to fame is he pushed Reggie Bush out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Was this Notre Dame or New York? Which one?
Jules Chalet, he did not come back to South Bend. Long time. But he wasn't there for the Bush push when Lionel Bush
pushed him over his own.
But he did tell the truth about why the Notre Dame grew their grass for 4 weeks, trying to slow down USC, and it worked. That's the only way to slow Reggie Bush down with trying to grow grass.
Wow.
That is the story. He told me I could tell that story. So
Hey, so before we get too far off in the book, we're still gonna stay on Bush. I want to go ahead and read some more of these of what they actually charged USC with.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I'm telling you, they ought to be ashamed of themselves for what they try to charge these people with. Let me let me blow this screen up real quick. Okay, here we go.
What is that?
What?
Failure to incomplete registration form?
USC compliance department failed to check the incomplete registration form for Reggie Bush's bill.
You gotta be shitting me, man.
USC's compliance department and former head football coach Pete Carroll failed to check the living arrangements for Bush's family in San Diego, some 130 miles from the Los Angeles campus. Former head coach Pete Carroll ran open practices where the NCAA believed the sports agents and their staffers could have come in contact with the players, although no such contacts were ever uncovered. Here we go. Former athletic director Mike Garrett failed to increase an undermanned compliance department that had only 2 employees. What? The athletic department failed to properly investigate the alleged violations or cooperate fully with the NCAA investigators. And assistant football coach Todd McNair was accused by Lloyd Lake of having known about Lake's arrangement with the Bush family. Todd McNair denied the accusations, but the NCAA preferred to take the word of Lloyd Lake, an ex-convict. The above violations were lumped together with the O.J. Mayo case, and that's how they was able to get what they got.
Damn O.J. Mayo. This dude.
So the only problem I see out of all of that, and it still ain't tied to Reggie Bush, it's just your compliance department was only with 2 people.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only thing I see that was wrong. But that's still, it's not tied to Reggie Bush.
But are they so when they did this? What year did they start that investigation? Was it like 08?
Oh, it happened. I think it happened right after Pete Carroll left. Whatever.
That's what I'm about to say. And then that's the damn scapegoat he took off.
The Seattle Seahawks said, "Oh, we have an open. Oh, I'm out of here, bro.
I'm out of here, baby," because he knew what was going to happen. He knew.
Like, that's like Nick Saban leaving after 2012. You know,
right?
That's why I was like, "It's no way
we're gonna leave at the height."
Man,
yeah, USC was about to run this whole entire thing.
Yeah, he was.
He was about to run this whole entire thing. He found out, got wind of what happened.
Let me go and get up out of here.
Let me go on, get gone.
Bruh, you can't tell me he didn't have it how he wanted it. You can't.
And think about it, like you said, because out of all of this, Reggie Bush was the one that was punished. You don't hear them talking about Pete Carroll championships. You don't hear them talk. You don't hear them talk about. It's like his name is not even mentioned.
They don't talk about
none of this stuff.
They don't talk about Pete Carroll. They don't talk about Lindell White. They don't talk about whatever that tight end name was. They don't talk about Matt Leinart. They don't talk about Carson Palmer. They don't talk about none of that. But my boy came from the hood. Oh, okay. We got.
Oh, okay.
He lives 125 miles away from campus in San Diego in the house. Okay, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to pay a little homage to my boy here. Just, I was trying to get some highlights going on here, but they taking too long.
It's okay.
I just want to see. Yeah, there we go. Now that's what I want to see right there. I just want to see some Bush right now.
You missed the part though when he tried to put the ball behind his back. I'm just gonna show it right here. Hey, Dave, don't tell Dave Jr. to do this right here though.
Yeah, please don't tell little Dave to do this.
Gotcha. The thing was, he should have known he was gonna cut back because he didn't put that ball in the other hand.
For all y'all that's listening, for all y'all
I mean, look at that. That's just out the gate like that. He didn't do no move. That was a straight speed. Just straight speed.
And he still busted. What did?
I'm gonna tell you how legendary he is. He the first guy that started to flip it in the end zone. That's why the video game started doing it.
Yep.
Yep. Shit,
they just.
I want y'all to watch this pivot right here. Boop, got you. Boop, got you. What did? Acceleration.
Is that Utah? Was that Utah? Was that the Utes?
Hold on, that's a whole different set of Utes.
I know. And that one of them Utes, was it?
Oh, I'm just saying, man, this guy. Oh, you did it freeze? Oh, you on that side, ain't
you? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Is the host?
I'm so glad we have editors.
There we go.
NCAA kicked Renard out, dude.
Okay, that's it. Look at Renard. Don't be showing. We done told him about that Reggie Bush shit. Don't be showing it.
Copyright.
He is erased from our books, Mr. Williams.
Not in my memory though. But man, I'm glad to see Reggie Bush back in there, man.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to, we got one and a half more topics, so we want to get real quick. I just want to test. I see how y'all feel about COVID-19 as far as not the whole pandemic. I'm just talking about, players have been able to come back about to workouts, and almost every program, at least the ones that are reporting it, have talked about the fact of they've had players tested positive. Around this area, you had UAB had one today. You had Alabama initially with 5. They tested again. They got 3 more. And now you got Auburn with 3. And I'm sure whenever they retest again, it might be more also. So this was expected. It was expected to go ahead and have players test positive so you can get them in a scenario and in a place to where you can kind of hunker down and have them all together. So with that being said, what do y'all see as the potential impact? You've heard maybe not a full season, maybe a truncated season, even after you get started on time. What do y'all see as your biggest issues going forward to have a full football season?
Let me say this before you go to that part. I think one of the biggest issues is going to be keeping them within themselves. Because, how are you going to tell these kids to just stay within themselves, stay within the team and not deal with the other people on campus and, go out? And because, some of them guys don't live in a dorm, they live in apartments. And I think that's, to me, is my biggest issue. Because like I said, if they could keep them all together, once they all get tested, then we might be all right. But when they start
right now, I think they talking about when they say keep them all together, they talking about like right now. Like right now, Auburn is not letting their players that live off campus. They're not allowed to live off campus.
Okay.
They have to live in the athletic dorm right now. Yeah, but it doesn't mean in the fall that they gonna
right.
Go. We already know it's gonna have to happen.
Well, I know. I don't think Auburn's going back this year. I don't think they're going back.
Going back?
Huh?
They said something about. I didn't see it officially, but I just saw for right now they was keeping them on campus and they didn't know what they were going to do as far as like.
Yeah, I'm talking about the students. For right now, that's what is up in the air. That is like for students going to class.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going right now. I think Auburn's still thinking about not going to class this year. There's a lot of schools like that. So if they could get the students from coming to school and they just keep it contained within the football team and
right.
the trainers and
just essential
all that people, that'll be good. But
right.
Alabama had 5 more players tested today. They had 3 more players tested today for COVID-19. I'm like, bro, this was amongst each other. So I don't know. They're going to have to figure something else out.
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, I want to say I don't know what this is going to look like because the COVID-19 is so it's such a thing to where the kids, if they just go to Walmart to buy a pack of T-shirts, they can get it. You know what I mean? If they go and And like you said, if the kids do come back to campus, what happens then? I've been going on record and just saying that I think that this is one of the things that, unfortunately, until they get some sort of vaccine, we're just going to have to kind of live through it and use precaution. I mean, that's really all you can do. As far as the players, man, and what football is going to look like in fall, I don't know, because college football is so dependent upon the fan base to where without the fans, it's not like a sport like you can play football. You can play football without fans, but the whole point of playing football, let's not misunderstand it, is because of revenue. If revenue wasn't an issue, then they would just not have a season. But revenue is such a big issue. I don't know what it's going to look like. And be honest, revenue is such a big issue. I think they're just going to tell the crowds to put your mask on and come to the game. I just think it just gets to that point.
Well, you saw. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say, that whole diagram that they was gonna try to do the 6 feet apart in the stadium. I don't know how the hell that's. We've all been in college football games and sat in not when you go to the NFL stadiums. We've all gone to college stadiums, and as we all know, there are no seats. It's bleachers. Like, how are you gonna sit people 6 feet apart?
I don't think they can sit 6 feet apart. They're gonna do like Ohio State has been talking about, is like the horseshoe holds how many? 85,000, something like that. 80 plus.
No.
And they say whenever
I think it's 90, I think.
So they were talking about a max capacity of between 35 and 50,000.
Yeah.
So I think that's their answer to what's going on, is we only gonna let so many people in. Same thing with the Alabama USC game. They talking about only letting 30, 40,000 people in Dallas. And then you got to go through to find out who gonna get these tickets, who ain't gonna be able to go. So it's like it's a huge issue.
Yeah, so it's 102,000 people. So if you knock it down to 50%, that's still 51,000 people. So
I know I'm about to say, I'm like, it don't matter. That's still 50,000 people.
You're going to have to do it down to at least a third, maybe a quarter of those people.
I guess that's why he said 30. First he said 30 to 40. When I heard that, the athletic record say,
that's still a lot of people, bro.
That's still a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people.
I mean, just in the ticket lines themselves. I mean, so what are you going to do? You're going to take everybody's temperature that comes in?
You can't.
That still doesn't solve it, because if I may not have a temp, but I could be a carrier. So
Exactly. And if you keep 6 feet away, hell, that line gonna be all the way down the damn Cleveland.
It's gonna be down the street. Like, it's gonna take forever to even get in the game. So my thing is, I guess I'm along the lines of, if you're gonna let them in, just let them in, because no matter what you say, even if it's 10,000 people, that's still 10,000 people.
Yeah,
I mean, us sitting here saying just let them in, they can't do that.
No.
As an institution, as someone who's representing the public, they're not gonna say, "Oh, we're just gonna let them in." Now, they were talking about the other day, and they don't. And I'll tell you right now, they don't have a solution on the books. Anyway, they've already noticed that. They were talking about the other day what Greg Byrne was talking about, like, well, we're devising a plan, and I'm telling you what's probably gonna happen. Your ass going to get there 4 hours early.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and the best thing they're gonna be able to do is just do a quick temperature check, because I have to go to the doctor all the time, and for me to even get in the UAB, they stop you right there. They put that thing against your head. Okay, 98.7, you can go. But outside that, it's really just an extra step. Now, as far as like them carrying the virus, like you said, most of these players you test them, they asymptomatic. So that means they don't have any symptoms. So that's just a risk that we taking every day when we go out the house anyway.
And like I told you, I've been going to work the entire time. So I've been going to my job. And I've never stopped. I've been going downtown, going to my job from the moment this all popped off up until this point. There has never been a time I haven't went to work.
So other than I work on a job where my job, it is impossible to stay 6 feet away from people.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. I mean, even when you think about the Walmarts, the Publix, the different places we shop, it's impossible. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Now, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm of the assumption is that, or the opinion, I should say, either you're going to not play it or you gonna play it. And it
That's
looks
it.
like we're gonna play it. And I don't think it's in between. There's not gonna. I mean, they can take some preventative measures, but like Ben just said, what's the difference between 50,000 and 100,000? What's the difference between 50 and 25? I mean, yeah, 25 more thousand, but bro, it don't take but one.
You know, table one. And Dave, let me ask you this: on your level, what are they saying about high school? What are they saying about Lil David? Or what are they saying?
Man, bro, it's right now they have some steps that they're gonna go through. Like right now, they temperature check them, and then each group, like you might have the defense line, O line, they may come in at 6:30, then it drops to 7:30. Then like Dave and the steel guys, they come in at 8:30. So you really don't see another position group unless they're working opposite the field, and which those are the guys that came in the same time that you did. So offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, you don't really see them. Once you go in the locker room and do your workout, once you leave out and go to the field, you leave from the field to the car.
Okay, so you don't go back to the locker room. Okay.
No, you don't go back. The first group works out in the locker room with the weights. They sanitize it down. By the time the second group gets there, the other group is already out on the field doing what they're gonna do. And when they get ready, when they finish with the field, they go into the house.
They go home. Okay. I was wondering because, like you said, we talking about college, the high school seasons. I mean, is that still? I mean, I'm sure it's still going to happen since they allowed them to come back to practice and everything. Because I know earlier we were talking about the recruiting with high school and everything. It's like, how is that going to look?
But a lot of that was pushed down by the AHSAA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought I saw some guidelines from them. I'm gonna tell you this: I'm with y'all. I understand. Look, like they already expecting the second big wave, and like the lady said, like it's not gonna go anywhere. The question is gonna be whether or not you gonna be like one of these people, like I see every day now, that don't wear a mask, that don't do this, that don't do that. If you feel that confident about it, people I see now at the beach, they're like just, for lack of a better word, nothing but with each other. If you comfortable with that, you already got over half of America who feel that way. So you gonna get your money. If they feel that way, that's fine. People like me that have underlying conditions, I can't do what everybody else do. So to me, it comes to an individual thing. I was at Home Depot today. I was the only person with a mask on.
Okay. Oh yeah, them masks are becoming far and in between. Like,
my thing is, it's for my protection more than it is for anything else. It's like, so I'm not trying to be close to nobody, but I have to do what I have to do until they tell me exactly how it's transmitted, how it's done, and we don't know. But the big thing about COVID-19 is that this is going to be a conversation all fall. The great thing for our show is that we get news on college football that change every day. So we're going to have plenty of shows outside of the season. And then in the fall, it's going to be so hectic with the NBA doing their thing. And then with NFL and college football, I mean,
the NFL is like, we just doing what we do. The NFL ain't giving two shit.
But I mean, it's going to be crazy. The fact, it's going to be October is already a great sports month. Now you look at the fact that you're going to have possibly game 5, 6, and 7 of the NBA Finals in October. Not to mention regular high school football, not to mention college football. So you might be watching college football on Saturday and the NBA Finals on Sunday.
Look, ESPN and ABC, like,
all hey, I'm gonna give you one that's better than that. The fact that basketball, after the end of the season, guess what they finna do again? They finna start right back up. So we finna have our dead time has been extended, but because we got so much to talk about and so much stuff is going on, you don't really feel that dead time like between basketball and football. Now you finna just get it all in, and God forbid if football has to get pushed back to next year.
If you're a sports fan this fall, you are going to be extremely happy all fall long. Listen, we didn't even go on the Masters.
All we got to do is make it through June. Once we get to July,
it's just gonna be downhill. You'll have
good money. We good money once we get to July.
Football, you'll have NBA basketball, you'll have NFL,
preseason, all that shit.
You'll have the Masters. You'll have. I think the PGA tournament they're gonna play the PGA tournament.
Yeah, they started today.
Yeah.
Hey, what about NASCAR? We gonna have NASCAR?
We still have NASCAR.
Did it? Hey, look.
That's a whole other show.
But sum it up, COVID-19 ain't going nowhere. Y'all continue to be safe and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Now, we're going to hit on something real quick because this is going to be a conversation for another show also. Is the big thing is that we had big movement in HBCU football. And they kind of tie two things together. We had FAMU leaving the MEAC and joining the SWAC. The SWAC, if you don't know, is the SEC of HBCU football. It is a dominant conference. It is the dominance of everything. And the MEAC was a great conference. I'm not saying it wasn't a great conference, but for FAMU to join the SWAC is a big deal. Also, what we want to get into, not this time, but next time, is going to be the fact that, and Dave saw my tweet today, whereas, about the guy that had the Power 5 offer that committed to HBCU, the number one basketball player in 2023, saying he wouldn't mind going to an HBCU, Mikey Williams.
That's the one where his mom, didn't his mom play for Hampton, if I'm not mistaken?
Like that. He's like he's a top 3, top 5 player. But we're going to get into that more because I felt like we were going to see a push for HBCU, but I want David to talk about how he feel about what's going on with the HBC, what I call the HBCU push, and fam coming over to the SWAC.
Man, I don't know how many of you guys have. Well, first of all, I'll give you a little background on myself. I graduated from Alabama University. I was actually in the band there, so I'm familiar with the pageantry of it. And I call it pageantry because we see pageantry. When we think about pageantry, we're thinking about Penn State, think about Florida State, USC.
The tradition.
HBCUs have their own type of pageantry, man, and it is not. The difference is you don't watch the game and then at halftime go to concession stand. No, right. You go to concession stand.
No, we don't do the Ricky Smiley, right?
Right.
You go to the second stand at the start of the second quarter because you want to see halftime.
You want to nachos?
Hey, and man, I am so excited, man, that we're going to be able to bring not necessarily a because of the band, but I'm definitely excited because of that. But I mean, another great football program, man. And then also you bring in one of the most well-known bands.
Well-known.
I mean, think about
it.
Right. I mean, you're talking about the financial for Florida A&M to be able to renew that Florida A&M and Southern, rivalry campus on both campuses. I mean, the first time, I don't know that Alabama A&M has ever played FAMU. So to get that, let's just say you got our homecoming and we got fam on homecoming. I mean, oh man,
we need to be on the sideline for that.
Dave,
yeah.
Dave, I got a question for you.
We need to be on the sideline for that.
To bring in some of our people who might not be as familiar with HBCU, it'd be like take a school that that Alabama or Auburn has never played, but it's a huge deal somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe
it's almost the equivalent of Auburn playing Notre Dame, which they have never done.
Right. Or Alabama playing Oregon. Or
right.
Or put like this: Clemson and Alabama playing each other on their campus
in the regular season.
In the regular season. This is what it is. I mean, you. It just makes it even more exciting.
Yeah. When will they start, Dave? When is FAM going to be?
2021.
Yes.
Also next year. Okay, so next year.
Yeah, immediately. I mean, the MEAC, they did lose North Carolina A&T to the Big South Conference.
Yeah, damn, they losing left and right.
Well,
so I don't know what this is going to look like later on down the line.
I think this is the MEAC and the SIAC. I think this is the beginning of the end for them. That's just me personally. Especially with the SIAC. I think Tuskegee need to come to the SWAC. I think Morehouse. Miles.
Yeah, Albany State.
Yeah, Albany State. Yeah. Miles is one of the last 3 national championships. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
To me personally, they don't nobody say nothing about it because they don't know nothing about it.
Right.
They don't know it.
Yeah, and
It's just I think Tuck too. The only thing would be with that is that I believe to be in the SWAC to play on that division, because whether you guys know it or not you all, not us, but
Yeah.
they are the SWAC is a Division I conference.
correct.
You know what I
Right.
mean? They are they're Division I conference. So I think when you're talking about the SIAC, which is not Division I think they have to have so many different sports or something
Correct. Yeah.
to be able to participate. But it would be great to house it. I mean, just think about how the Big 12 used to be.
Right.
You know, with all these teams, you know what I mean?
Right.
It could happen.
Yeah, and I think all these, like I said, with the MEAC and the SIAC, because they're all independent schools, they're all private schools. I think they're going to eventually do what they do with the Big South. They're going to form their own conference, and some SWAC is going to pick off who they want, and then
the rest will just go over there.
Tuskegee can, as far as Division I, they could do the same thing that State and Alabama A&M doing.
Yeah.
Miles, same thing. It's Division I. Look, it's just that they don't get that same exposure, because don't get me wrong, ESPN now is doing ESPN3, and that's why you get to see all the games and all that stuff. And the biggest thing I think the SWAC did as far as promotion is letting their own squads pick their own supplier. Because the SWAC was letting Russell be their supplier for the longest.
It had the big jerseys.
Russell Athletics.
Russell Athletics ain't been in 1995.
Right.
I think that was again, we talk about money, we talk about exposure. I think because I think Alabama A&M is a Nike school. Alabama State's an Adidas. Florida A&M is a Nike school. Nike will, if you want to promote yourself, you got to get your own private label. Get your own label out there, as far as putting that Under Armour on there and everything like that. You got to get out there. That's more money for the school,
right?
More money for to get more athletic abilities. I love it. I really do. When I saw Florida A&M coming,
this is gonna be huge. Whenever they play Grambling.
Ooh.
Burn.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be
burn. Look. That may be something we all might have to make happen, Burn. When Grambling and fam play, whatever the venue is, we all may have to just make sure that's a trip that we all make.
And being, I'm sorry, Chuck, I didn't mean to cut you off. Here's the thing: what people don't realize, man, is when you go to a HBCU, one of those caliber HBCUs, like the larger ones, even the smaller ones.
Tell it.
It's such a family atmosphere, bro.
Man,
you have fun. Matter of fact, you can not even go in the game.
Yes,
and watch the game outside and just have a ball.
That's classic. No, I done DJ many a classic tailgate, and I've had a damn ball just out there DJing for somebody. Like I DJ for Max, I DJ for individual people, and just being out there in the tent, just DJing all the love with all the people coming up. Just like you said, I'm not a member of NANA school, but just being out there, like it's something you can't put a finger on it, man.
I have two more points, Renard. And
no, you good. Go ahead.
I have an itinerary on Classic Day. First of all, I'm gonna start tailgating with somebody on Wednesday. So, and I'm gonna go to somebody's party on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday morning, I'm at Mama house at least by 9:00. I'm gonna stop by Popeyes on Arkadelphia.
All right.
Give me something to eat.
East Thomas Popeyes.
I'm gonna give me something there. And then I'm gonna be headed to the stadium. Mind you, the game don't start at 3. I'm gonna get to the stadium by 11:30. Then after the game, I'm gonna stay out there, get my daughter off the bus. We're gonna hang out a little while. And I'm coming home, man. It's HBC football, man. It's about to take off. And then also my second point, we missed a big thing this year when we did not. Unfortunately, COVID-19 happened, and we couldn't do the HBCU Pro Combine, the Combine.
Yeah.
Right.
That was going to be huge for these guys. It's going to really be huge because, they're not getting that invite. to go into the big combine. So this was going to be a real huge for evaluation. I think Renard, you could touch on this when we was watching the draft. If you notice, it was hardly any FCS guys.
Mm-mm.
It was, that got really drafted, not like the years past because the evaluation was so skewed. So,
Right.
and I'm excited. I can't wait. I've never been to Tallahassee, being, that.
Mhm.
So, I'm gonna try to catch a 2-1. If I can catch Fam at 1, catch Florida State at 7.
Hey, all I'm gonna tell you is, brother, we're gonna have to go half on that room because Tallahassee is notorious. After I spent $300 on the Motel 6, my brother, I can't believe I spent $300 on the Motel 6, my brother. I just was like, Tallahassee, y'all got to do better.
It ain't Tallahassee. That's every college football town on the Saturday.
Let me tell you, my uncle, like Dave said about that itinerary. Man, my uncle and my father are both A&M alumni, and so that itinerary to the T.
Don't change.
Oh, don't change. I was like, oh, is that? I know exactly where my uncle at, because I remember one year my wife was like, well, have you seen your Uncle Daniel? I was like, oh, he's at the frat house. It's only 2:00. He's getting torched right now. So he's like,
I can find him.
You're not gonna call him? No, I'm just gonna walk to the frat house, and there he was getting torched playing spades.
Yeah.
And when I
go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say classic Saturday is the only day out the year that I start drinking by at least 9:00 in the morning.
No doubt.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
No doubt.
That's what it is.
what I was gonna say was that, like, a lot of people talk about the big games and stuff like that. It's really just the tradition of of almost every week. You know what I'm saying? When you see what goes on now, those games are special. The homecoming games, the big games, those games are special. But to me, it's like if you go to an A&M, or in my case, when I went to Stillman, like, of course, I was there during the football time when Texas Southern came to town. That was a huge deal, and I'm like, you had folks that wasn't going to UA game that day.
Yeah,
right.
I knew, like, I'm gonna be on your campus at 8:00 in the morning, dog, and I'm sitting up there like, okay, well, here it comes. Like, the experience you get from it, I think a lot of people go away from it because of the fact of they always look at HBCU football, somebody we know, as lower tier football, which is not so much as lower tier football, more than it's underfunded football.
Right. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Like, if they ever get that together, then.
But I don't. Go ahead, Dave.
And it's underfunded. It's actually interesting you mentioned that, because I remember sometimes, and even it still happens now, you would get an Alabama A&M versus Texas Southern, but let's say Texas Southern's at home, the band won't travel to Texas Southern.
Nope.
Right.
Okay, and vice versa. So maybe unlike some Power 5 conferences, or schools, I should say, the band, you can't have the HBC experience without the band. It is what it is.
Right.
I mean, you can go to some of the Battle of the Bands. You got Battle of the Bands that draw crowds bigger than some of the football games. But because the funding is not there, we have to pick, okay, well, I'm going to go to Baton Rouge. I'm going to go to Jackson, Mississippi. And I'm going to go to, we're going to go to Grambling this year. And we already got the Classic. So you're talking about four games that we have to pay for travel. So it's unlike your Power 5 or even your FCS. The band doesn't travel to every game, and that has all to do with funding. And I think
it's not an automatic thing either. It's like, it's like you said, we got to pick and choose. Like, hold on now, how much is going?
Where am I going?
Negro.
Yeah. I mean, that again, that's where your the sponsors step in. Nike would be like, oh, okay, well, we'll take care of that. That's $200,000. That's no problem. Let's drop in the bucket. You're wearing our apparel, so we're going to take care of you.
Right.
Most athletic could barely pay for state dinners. That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to get these sponsorships. Have Coca-Cola, have Pepsi, have whatever you can to get to sponsor you, because that's what pays for things now. And then with ESPN needs to step up and give some more money back too. because
They do.
if they're getting
They do.
all this money from the college football playoff,
They could.
they could drop some buckets of some money into these SWAT schools.
They could, but you know the biggest issue, and we're gonna need to go ahead and end it real quick.
Okay.
The biggest issue is we gotta support us.
Yeah, we gotta do better. We gotta do
Yeah.
better.
We gotta do
We
better.
gotta
You
do
can
better.
you can love your Alabama and
From
you
the
can love your
students.
Auburn, but you just don't have to love A&M or State on the Classic Day.
Classic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can love them all year long and still love your Power 5 school.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
You need to know what's going on with them. That's one thing I've always loved about Tuskegee. Say what you want to say. A&M is like this too. You won't find hardly anybody that says that went to Tuskegee. I know dudes that flunked out of Tuskegee and won't say a negative word about the school.
Yep.
And they be like, it's to you for life, baby.
Oh, Trip,
Hey.
look.
Hey, Renard. Quick story. I promise. This last thing was.
You good.
Last year,
This is what we need.
I had the privilege to go to Lorman, Mississippi.
Ooh,
Those
yeah.
that don't know where Lorman is, that's the home of Alcorn State. Braves,
Alcorn State. Steve.
which are probably about the 5 or 6 year SWAC champion. But anyway, the game was between Alabama A&M and Alcorn State, and the winner of that game was going to represent the SWAC. In the SWAC, represent that side of the conference in the SWAC championship. Bruh, I saw a charter bus. It was an Alabama A&M charter bus. I'm like, man, what is this? Because the band didn't come. Again, we're talking about underfunded. They're so underfunded to where your band can't come to a pivotal game that came down to the last play of the game. Came down to the last play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a charter bus, Ben.
Mhm.
I said, who on there? I saw a bunch of old folks getting off there, older alumni. All of them had the Alabama A&M windsuits on. They were ready, locked in, strapped in. Well, I said, woo, all these jokers were 65 plus, boy. I'm talking about the pins everywhere.
And see,
I mean,
and see, yeah, that's the energy you gotta have. That's the energy you gotta have. Like
we talk about the baby boomers, man, but the baby boomers have energy.
They do what they're supposed to
we
do.
don't have,
Yeah.
bro. They got energy we don't have.
because you know what I'm saying. I'm sure gonna hit up when I hit the hill. I'm about to raid the college bookstore and get a whole bunch of Nike A&M stuff. I'm
Hey, man. Hey, we done moved online now. You might want to order it online now.
Ooh, don't tell me that.
You go,
That's
you go
right.
up there. Yeah, you go up there, you ain't gonna find them. You gotta
Let's get it online. Let's get it online.
Get it online.
I'm about to order me a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah, we're going to expose Ben to some more of this HBCU experience because you know there's certain
Yeah,
experience on certain campuses you got to go to. There's certain.
I mean,
experience
you know my cousin. He played. He got the D1. Well, he got the scholarship to Tuskegee, and he played his freshman year. But
No, you got to come.
No.
with us.
No.
No. We're not talking about going just to a game.
Yeah.
he played his freshman year.
We got certain experience and certain things you have to experience with us.
I'm with it.
Ropes.
Hey, I'm with it. You know me. I'm with it. I'm with going and not working because most of the time, like I said, with Classic, I'm always working. So
No,
You
we
know.
can't have that. We can't have that. But anyway, man, we've been going for a good while, a little bit longer than we said, but hey,
Is-
we wanted to definitely come in and talk to y'all and give y'all just a little update of where we were and a few little topics. We probably gonna be doing this maybe at least once a week, twice a week, try and give y'all some short shows, and we still gonna do our lives. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please hit us up on Anchor. You know how to find us, Down South Football Podcast, man. Look, we got a lot of great things coming. We appreciate all our followers. Hey, if you a follower, tell another follower. Tell somebody else to follow.
mm-hmm.
Y'all can come with us. And this is your boy. My Twitter handle is @Renard D. Williams. Y'all can holler at me anytime. Go ahead, Tuck.
Hey, it's your boy C Tuck. You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Chauncey Tuck. You can also follow the Cruiser Boys at the Highway 22 East Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Also, you can follow Mayor Tuck on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook.
You missing one, ain't you?
You missed one.
Yeah,
You say Mayo and Tuck.
I said that.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Hold on. What about Tuck Vision?
Oh, I mean,
Damn, Renard.
I mean, if anybody out there is getting married or having a birthday event or I am a videographer by also, so just hit me up at Tuck Vision MP on Facebook and at Twitter.
Hold on, Tuck. Hold on, because y'all got let the man get to stop laughing. Please, Tuck. Repeat your handle for your Tuck Vision company, please, sir.
Yeah, like I said, if you're trying to get married and all that good stuff, I am. Let me know what your date is and see if I'm open. I am booking for weddings and also save the days I'm booking right now. So that's all.
And where you get it? Where? What's your handle? I didn't get your
handle. Is at Tuck Vision MP. That's Tuck Vision Media and Production.
Cool.
And that's on Twitter, and on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook too.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Other people kept talking over you. You know how they do. David, you gonna wake up?
Dave.
See, that's what I was saying. I did the rest of it quick. I was gone. I was like, hey, you can't say I took my time.
Hey, man, look, we support each other, bro. Like, hey,
exactly.
We gotta let you get it in, dog.
That's it. I appreciate it.
Well, y'all can find me on Facebook at David Gardner, on Twitter DL Gardner 205. If you get married, don't call me. I don't have a business company. I don't have none of that.
But you gonna show them have a drink though.
But Dave, tell them to holler at your boy.
Yeah. You can holler at the guys on the other side of the screen. But that's it, man. Enjoy hanging out with y'all.
Go ahead, man.
All right, man. You can reach me at Twitter and Instagram at I am DJ Double Dose, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Look, we ain't gotten to no season previews. We ain't gotten to none of that. We got all that good stuff coming.
You don't want me to get started right quick? You know what I'm saying? About what the... Oh, okay. I'll say that.
You see this face?
I'll say that.
No, I don't know. Just stop. Just stop. Oh, God. God help us all.
No man error. I'm saying start. New beginning.
Oh, Lord.
New thing. Big thing.
Can you not run away? Can you not run away from new YouTube followers, please?
You talk about YouTube with White Mike.
Yeah, let's not run them away yet. We got to let them warm. We in a different platform this year. We in YouTube, so they gonna be like, man, who was this doing this all the way? We gotta warm them up to it, okay? Anyway, man, y'all holler back at us, man. We'll be back next week, man. We'll holler.
All right, man. One.